After releasing the first cut-off list of various undergraduate courses, Delhi University has started the admission process amid coronavirus pandemic. Cut-offs are higher than ever. Nearly 3.5 lakh students have applied this year for 70,000 seats. The process has changed this year. Students are already struggling because every process is now online for the first time, and many do not have access to the internet. But the real story, according to me, is this cutoff. Just look at those figures. For BA Honours Political Science at the Hindu College, cutoff is 100%. BA Honours Economics, BA Honours Psychology, BA Honours Political Science at LSR, 100%. So that's BA Honours Political Science at Hindu, as we told you, 100%. This 100% is something which is absolutely scary. BA Honours English at Miranda House, 99%. So we ask this very simple question: where will people who don't score 100% go? And is this like a faulty marking system? See, ultimately this is just aggregation. They're calculating cutoff on what people have scored. 100% marks is success guaranteed. And do these marks really matter? Because then you are not, half of the people are not part of this scheme or this arrangement. Let me now introduce our two guests. Professor Chandrabhushan Sharma is a professor of education at IGNOU. We also have Professor Devraj Mukherjee, Associate Professor, Ramjas College, Delhi University. Thank you very much. Professor Sharma, what chance do people have with this sort of cutoffs? I mean, I can't believe that there are people who are getting 100% marks in English. It's unheard of.
Sanket, we walked this path long back, where boards have started giving marks, spiking marks long back, and this has been in the news every time you have admissions June, July, August. Because we don't have a regulatory authority or a regulatory body for school boards. CBSE is with the central government, the National Institute of Open Schooling is with the national government, and other boards are with the state, and every board is trying to prove that we are the best, our students get 100% marks. There is no standardization amongst boards. There is no single body. The Bodaliar Commission had recommended that you must have a school education commission. All these 70 years, you have a University Grants Commission which regulates universities, and you have 35 crore children in a school, and you don't have a school education commission. So every board is trying to give more marks so that students come to their schools. Some states which did not fall into this trap, like the Bihar School Board, their students do not get admission anywhere outside Bihar.
Correct. Correct. So, I think that's a very important point. Professor Mukherjee, would you agree? Because, you know, with an arrangement like this, I mean, there are some lenient boards, and then there are some, boards that are difficult to crack. This automatically puts students of those respective boards at a disadvantage.
Yeah, actually, I'll sidestep that question, because I think for me, that's not the more important question, frankly speaking. I think the more important question is to see the absence of a scholastic aptitude test for higher education. And in the absence of such enabling mechanism, the privileging of only marks, a purely quantitative barrier for students to get into higher education, is the big problem here. Look, the new NEP says school children should be unburdened from just pursuing marks. I mean, they should be free to explore their scholastic aptitudes and their predilections. So school children should enjoy schooling, should draw the maximum benefit from school, should not be bothered about marks, and just follow whatever direction their academic inclinations take them. Should they want to join university, should they want to pursue a program in a college or in a university, they should display the scholastic aptitude to study that subject. And they can display that by securing marks in a test that tests them exactly for that program. What we have now is a hold-all system where as Professor said, boards compete with each other to give higher marks. And then you have an absurd system where you have absurd marks.
But then, the problem is, Professor Mukherjee, how many tests would a child give? You first have to take the 10th board test, then you give a 12th board test.
When I meet these students inside the classroom, believe me, and I'm sorry to be saying this, those marks are not reflected in what they know or what their abilities are or what their aptitudes are
Professor
inside
Sharma,
the classroom.
you stand in disagreement with what Professor Mukherjee seems to be saying.
Completely disagreement. See, first is the board should be standardized, so the 60% of Bihar board should be equivalent to 60% of CBSE. Because if you don't do, now we have a national testing agency, and the idea has been floated that after the 12th, the NTA will take a test and put all the students on one scale so that we know who is the best. Then why do you have a board exam? Why do you have different boards for the country? Leave all the students to write NDA test, let all the schools educate children and put them to NTA test. Why do you have boards? We are against engineering tests being organized. Students are under tremendous pressure all the time. They have to write a 12th board, then they have to write a test for IITs, then they have to write a test for state engineering colleges. And look at the students after 12th. You must minimize such tests. What are you trying to test and what are you preparing your children for?
No, we must minimize tests, but at the same time, I frankly look at this as a sort of conundrum. I mean, had I been a student in this day and age, I would have been denied admission in a Delhi university. Frankly, with these sort of numbers, this is obnoxious. 100%.
Obnoxious. And this is because, Sanket, I will again repeat, because we do not have a body which regulates all the school boards.
Yeah, I mean, there has to be some sense into these numbers.
Given.
I agree with you.
Please, Sanket, the argument is often given that this is under the concurrent list, so we cannot have a board for school education. Mudaliar Commission has said this and refuted this argument. Why do you have a...
I think this marking system is extremely exclusive. Professor Sharma as well as Professor Mukherjee, thank you so much. This marking system where there is a cutoff of 100% and students are actually getting this much is extremely exclusive, and it excludes a lot of students who may be bright but they're denied entry simply because their board somewhere in Bihar or somewhere in Uttar Pradesh does not or is not so liberal with the marking, say for instance like a Tamil Nadu board or the CBSE.